Even though God had chosen David to be the next king, people did not know about him yet. David knew that the Lord would tell him when it was the right time to be the king. For now, Saul was still the king of Israel. Saul led his army to the battle against their enemies, the Philistines. The Philistines did not believe in God and they did not like God's people. The Philistines wanted to kill the Israelites. King Saul's army made their camp on one hill, and Philistine's army made their camp on the other hill. There was a valley in between them. Every morning and every evening, a huge Philistine named Goliath would come into the valley and yell to the Israelites. The Philistines are better than Israelites, Goliath would shout. Choose a man and have him come down and fight me. If he can kill me, then we will become your slaves. If I kill him, then the Israelites must become slaves to the Philistines. Goliath did this every day for 40 days. The Israelites were very frightened, and no one wanted to fight the giant man. He was over 9 feet tall, and he had a bronze helmet and a bronze armor. He had a huge spear, and he had a servant who walked in front of him carrying a shield. David was not in Saul's army. He still stayed out in his father's pastures taking care of the sheep. David's 3 oldest brothers did fight with Saul, though. Their father, Jesse, would often send David to take food and supplies to 3 brothers. This time, when David arrived at the army camp with supplies, he was very surprised at what he saw. He arrived just in time to see Goliath come out and make his challenge. David could not believe that anyone would talk about God in such a bad way. David knew that God was stronger than Goliath. God is stronger than anyone. David heard some of the soldiers say that whoever was brave enough to fight Goliath would win many prizes from King Saul. His father would never have to pay taxes to the king. And the king would let the winner marry his daughter, and he would give him great wealth. When David started asking the soldiers about Goliath, his brothers overheard him and became angry. Why don't you just go back and watch the sheep? They said. Let us fight the battles. But David had an idea. David went to King Saul and told him that he wanted to fight Goliath. David told the king that how the Lord always helped him. When a bear had carried off one of his father's sheep, David had chased it and hit it. The bear died. The Lord had always given him the strength to fight lions when they tried to kill the sheep. I know I am not a soldier, but I know that God will help me fight the giant. I trust in God, and God is stronger than any bears, lions, giants, and or spears. King Saul listened to what David said. Saul believed David when he said he trusted in God. King Saul told David that he could fight Goliath. He even gave David his own armor and sword, but when David tried them on and tried walking around, he knew that he could not wear the king's armor. He had never been trained to use them, and they only made it hard for him to walk. David decided to fight Goliath using only his sling. David went down to the stream and collected 5 smooth stones. With a sling, stones, and trust in the Lord, David was ready to face the enemy. When Goliath saw David, he started making fun of him. He also started making fun of God. He told David that he would kill him and feed him to the birds. David still trusted in the Lord, and he told Goliath, you come against me with a sword and a spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today I will kill you, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. As Goliath moved closer to attack David, David ran toward him quickly and put one of the stones in his sling. He swung round and round and released the stone straight at Goliath's forehead, and the stone hit Goliath and he fell to the ground. David killed Goliath with Goliath's own sword. When the Philistines saw that a boy had killed Goliath, their hero, they all began to run away. The army of Israel won the battle. They won because David trusted in the Lord.